Hey everyone, we were looking at a user file the other day where they used separate groups for the group and the deflector, and it was brought to my attention by my good friend Fabian Buckreus, and I thank him for this, that um, Bullet, unfortunately, if you specify the deflector group, it doesn't matter what Bullet parameters, shape parameters you have set for that group. Unfortunately, with Bullet, it's going to use the floor shape. So if you set the floor shape to box, this thing's going to behave like a box, even though it has a hole in the bottom. That's unfortunate. We're going to talk to Cebus, see if we can't get that fixed. Luckily, in SC, where we have the active group and then the deflectors, the colliders, we even have the floor with a voxel grid of 0. But if we go look at our colliders here, we can see that we're set up for neutron and a voxel grid of 3. And of course, you remember that voxel grids of 3 are going to look something like, essentially it's going to look like that on that plane, and then of course 2 more divisions, so you get a total of 3 vertical cells as well. So the collider's voxel grid here with the SC parameters is actually going to work correctly. And so to do that, we're going to show you our SC is set up for active and colliders, voxel grid of 0 for the floor, even though there is none. And what we do now, go ahead and just frame forward, and we see the sphere pass through, which is what we want. So if we disable this and we go and enable Bullet, go to Bullet Physics, confirm we're using our active for the group. Our deflector is going to be the colliders. The floor shape is going to be a box, and that's the big deal. In this case, you're really going to want it to be set as a mesh so that it will go through. That there. Okay. And if you do happen to have, a floor node connected down at the bottom, maybe a big box to kind of hold everything together at the bottom, and you do want it to deflect off some other particles, make sure that you're very careful about what you use for your shape. If you set it to box, everything gets treated like a box. So let's go ahead and show that. So we've got this set up. And remember, even though our colliders, the BT rigid body is set to mesh and static, we've got this, the floor is set to box. And so what's going to happen is the sphere is going to fall down and sit there. So not exactly what you want. So that's something that you need to be aware of. I'm going to be talking with Cebus. Hopefully we can find a solution for this. Remember that Bullet is developed by a third party, and Cebus has to integrate this, so it's not exactly a simple thing. Anyway, just thought you should know. Again, thank you, Fabian Buckreus, for that tip. And now we know that either set your BT floors to something like mesh, or mesh if you have holes in it, or better yet, you should set your full group for all collision interactions, set it to physics and set your deflector to none. And that way it will actually use the settings that are applied to these colliders. So just now it's going to fall. Hey, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So just had to update and refresh. So remember, best way to go is to not use a deflector unless you have to. Try to use only the group and all the subgroups through here. If you do have to use a deflector, keep in mind with Bullet, your floor shape setting is going to affect your deflector setting.